what really makes us different as a company are the two things: the SaaS model, software as a service, combined with our electronic data strategy. But why is electronic data important, and kind of what's the strategic reason for that? Well, we believe at AvidXchange the future of AP automation is going to get to a point where it really becomes strategic working capital for a company, where they can use their payables process to determine when their vendors are getting paid, capturing a discount finance rate on accommodating vendor requests of maybe getting paid earlier in the cycle than they would typically get paid. So for example, let's take an example of a typical customer who's paying their vendors in 30 days. Well, maybe that client has other uses and sources of their capital that they'd rather invest in projects or other acquisitions, and they'd like to pay their vendor in, say, 70 days. Well, the vendor, they're used to getting paid in 30 days today, but for their reasons, boy, it'd be great to get paid, say, in 10 days. So now you have a window between 10 days and 60 days. So that 50-day window is what can be financed through a vendor discount, say a 2% net 10. And so the client can capture that component as well as the vendor can get paid, and the Avid platform can provide a financing mechanism to fund that transaction. And in that case, everybody wins in that scenario. But however, that's the end game that we're moving to. In order to get there, that only works if you get electronic data, so you have a period of time in which you can make a decision on how you want to pay that vendor to execute on, say, a 2% net 10 discount. In a paper-based world, we know today it takes between 5 to 8 days by the time a piece of paper, an invoice is printed at the vendor to be able to get to our client, by the time it gets processed at the vendor, it gets put in the U.S. mail, it gets received by the client. That process on average is 5 to 8 days. Well, if you're trying to work on a 2% net 10 discount, that doesn't leave very much time left. However, if you could eliminate that process and get the invoice data day one, you now have a full 10-day window to make strategic decisions on how you want to pay the vendor.